like changes in it, not finding success. The one thing I am surprised that we're getting into this fight here is that Floki Clement Deceptos in 28th place with an uncontested Pleasant Park.
Wow, that's I'm not sure if Pleasant's like a cursed spot then.
It could be, dude. It could be. Ever since season 4, it's felt like if you were coming out of there, I mean, I don't know what Epic's doing. They always tempt you. They always think, oh, you know, Jonesy's there. You get an upgrade. Oh, a bunker chest is there. Wait, there's 2 bunker chests up north. Maybe this is a place that we should definitely alpha and fight for. So far, not cashing in. And I have to definitely look at the VODs here to see where that team is kind of falling short for the day.
Seems like it might be off of like the first surge or a mid-game fight.
What's up, man?
3 games.
Right.
Definitely looks like it's surge.
Juice,
like
you want to join a call for FNCS finals?
They didn't make it all the way to
We're watching all 3 regions.
That was a little bit of a crazy zone. It was difficult to handle.
And they kind of talk about as well. I mean, that team in Pleasant, they've always said what you typically
it's gonna be good.
Go north to Stealthy Stronghold to get some tags, but
I really like
Mappies.
Mappies
and all them. They're not easy to take out. They're so far putting up a great defense against that rotation.
Okay, Juice. Denmark all the way.
Just saw them a little bit of the flex drop. There's that gas station.
Oh, okay, no problem, Juice.
Yep. Tight beat. They're rolling in at 3rd place.
Yeah, we're gonna watch all 3 tournaments right now, bro. It's gonna be a lit fucking day.
Progressively better. Started off the day with a 2nd place, and now we're looking real good. Go back to Clement.
It's gonna be a
God loadout for what I'm seeing. This has to be the game. Could also be the zones that are affecting them at Pleasant Park. They have to move through so many different trios. We've been down at Caddy Lazy twice now. It's difficult.
One of the trios that we have yet to really talk about, but have been kind of flying underneath the radar, is on the bottom right of your screen. Toos's trio alongside with Kirachi. You know, they've been doing really well. They've been having the same kind of free rotations. If you kind of like take a ruler and go all the way diagonal, that's the same as Andretta. So all these trios right here being uncontested, but their rotation is also clean. So I'm thinking, what a great performance for Kirachi, Stormy, and Toos. They did really well in their qualifying, coming into 4th place
Floki,
here. I think what their game plan has so far hasn't been disrupted. They've been doing everything to their playbook and executed
Floki is a savage, dude.
When you go back and look at the top 3 performance out of the 12 games, these first 4 that I'm looking at from Stormy, Toos, and Kirachi definitely fit that flow. 5th, 4th, 7th. We're gonna have elims in every game. 8 in the second one. Most recent one, game number 4 that they played, I kind of missed the mark. Didn't get any elims.
Oh, Noah Riley's right there, huh? They're gonna fight.
Issues possibly. While this is all happening, maybe this is why Floki Deceptos are having trouble. Maybe. Looking at the way Reason would deal Noah Riley, they're just free flowing across the entire map, and Pleasant might be on their sights for more than just one game.
Yeah, and this team right here is finished 25th, 17, and 26, and only getting 1 elim. 1 elim from this solid trio who've been doing really well in this season so far.
Let's go.
You're right, man. Vidil trio has just been having the free opportunity. Vidil trio is playing as if they're landing at Sweaty Sands. So that trio, anywhere they land, they're going to go ahead and see what they can do. And if they get a couple of tags, they're going
they're
all
looking
in.
for
and look how
flank.
strong they are. I wondered what kind of weapons they would have walking out of Boney Burbs, and look at it. Such a solid one right now. And I don't think Floki wants this fight. They're not going to do anything right now. And look how much Noah Riley is just walking up into this house. Like no beats are coming his way. They don't want this fight, child. They don't want it, but Noah wants it, and he's going in.
Noah gives no
They have to
fucks.
take it regardless. That was the perfect time to go for a 3-way beam, but no one even peeks. Now Noah Riley is going to pick this apart.
Noah Riley's going to shit on this kid.
That's
unfortunate.
He doesn't even want to break it down. Going all the way up, close to personal Clement. He wants to get inside that box. This man is not only looking to win the fight, but looking to toss some disrespect in the setup.
Oh my god.
That Floki Clement have Reason just walks all the way up. And these
Noah's
guys look
about to
scared. I'm not
disrespect
sure
this man's fucking bloodline.
Zipto's left behind, a 3v2 situation.
Andretta, Ruskard, and Savage.
Pinch about to happen while Reason makes sure Ziptos doesn't go through. Now he drops down and participates as well. I mean, what is this? I've never seen.
I don't even know who I'm going for on EU, man.
Defensive so bad in Pleasant Park.
You know?
And these are great fighters.
EU is
has
such
been
a
on
good
a hot streak
fucking.
this season. Been really solid solo with a lot of solo clutches.
It's such a good
he
region.
is no slouch in himself right here. But when you're in the target on the eyesight of Noah Riley's trio, you just become a pup bar. Essentially, man, that's what you become.
I mean, we keep saying that Pleasant's uncontested, but I guess that's like kind of wrong, right? If this is going to be happening every single game, you're definitely going to be running into a God trio rolling with you, who's looking to fight and looking for that upgrade station around the same time that you are as well. So definitely some issues in the early game that Deceptos has to kind of get over, all inside the same house. No fireflies.
I'm hoping Floki actually pulls it out, man. Floki's a beast, bro. Super underrated.
And now they're basically on a timer in this house.
Anas, Thomas HD.
Let's check in with Guild Gamma Trio, Thomas HD, Anas Flick. Oh no, that's what I'm talking about. When you have position, go for the punish. Anas, I'm not sure how I didn't even lose that shield.
Oh, Thomas getting fried.
This trio got usurped, I believe, in the last game by Thomas Flick and Anas.
Oh, you're fucked, Thomas.
It might have been
oh, man.
2 games ago. They went for big shots, and now they set up a trap to kind of get some revenge. Pizza, though, low on HP, the same as Flick. It's even both ways through. Fast Roki, the healthiest of this trio, all the way on height. It's gonna be a rough and very dirty fight. It's isolated, though. No one can really interrupt Sancho. They're gonna see this feud through.
You're seeing the engages break out on dead side rotations. That was a great position from Fast Roki coming out of Lazy Lake, going to their Storm Surge location there to look for anyone doing a dead side, and that's Thomas HD and Anas Flick, always doing dead side rotations.
Bro, this is gonna be crazy.
Right now, they're running into a roadblock, and Podesai, I don't know, must have changed their drop spot. Now, Podesai was usually landing Southeast Stronghold. We see Podesai all the way on this side.
Andretta's getting
now we're going
fried.
to our #1 team sitting really solid right now, considering that they're going into this match at 14 points. Not a big lead, not comfortable just yet, considering this is
they're in
only
a bad
day 1.
position.
But right now, some lobby focus coming through. That's what's always dangerous.
I'll catch you later, Danny. Peace.
Is you're going to make a lot of noise, and eventually someone's going to stop you dead in your tracks. But I think Andretta Savage and Revsguard, who've been doing really well today.
I think they're going to be fine.
Distance, third party comfortably, getting tags on some third party fights. And I remember when I was watching Zake stream one day, and Zake was talking about great teams play Storm Surge positions. They're not about looking for elims. They set them up so where the lobby comes to them, they could get some great beams. And that's what Savage's trio has been doing so well today.
You said they were looking really solid. I like that, but also want to challenge it in terms of the solid being glass. Right now, with their position, 129 points to 115 from Hen, Genis, and Chapix right behind them. It's a lead.
Bro,
they can definitely be caught up on.
This is going to be a nuts end game.
And that trio of Hen, Genis, and Chapix have been taken out, right, in the early game. So
there's so many people left alive.
That glass into, you know, rock hard stone.
This game is super stacked.
If they slip up this game, everyone can still catch up and make it a close race. For this 2-day type of format, you want first place. If you're in that position, be way far ahead of everyone else. Right now, they have a 30-ish point lead on the 3rd place team.
Yeah, we saw for a moment there, Bloomy's trio sitting all the way on the West Coast. That is the Fort Crumpet split. This is one of those circles they have to capitalize in. When the circles come your way, and they're in your backyard, that's your chance to do well. The only thing you have to overcome is Storm Surge tags, because, you know, teams are not going to get there yet. You're not going to have an opportunity to pick on people making rotations like you're seeing here with Jetsku's trio. There is another trio on the right side. They've been shooting shots their way, doing all they can to get a 20-30 tag here, and that's Gemside Dementos coming from Misty Meadows. So those are the rotation periods that are coming through, and now we're seeing Save It Rifla coming from Weeping Meadows here, going
this
against
is gonna be crazy.
Weeping Wood trio right now in danger, and Queasy and Jerksy, they're like, you know what? We're not
good
gonna fight
tags.
We want
Good
height.
tags.
Right now, it's kind of just bluffs back and forth between all teams.
EJ, what's up? No, you're not late, bro. We just started. This is East. This is EU right now.
I mean, I just don't feel like they've had
East and West is going to be in a little
fight out of all the placement points in the Elim so far. Rocking in 7th place, sometimes in top 10, off of high ground positions, off of positions to win the game. I'm not even saying that they've choked, but they've been interrupted. They've been stopped by so many different trios from game 1 all the way to game 4. And, you know, past that too, I think in game 5, this is where they really need to lock it in and have a good game.
That's the kind of thing you
This
deal
lobby
with.
is so stacked.
Ground, you expend so much mats.
NAE is right after this, and then it's NA West. So we're watching all 3 of them.
Shambles, and any team that's been sitting at mid-ground will look really solid.
This dirty fight's still rolling through. And yeah, it's kind of coming in slow for Flick, Thomas, and Anas. You can see the stat on the left side of your screen. Historically speaking, they have slow starts. This is the fastest we've seen so far. Even losing this fight, Flick going down. They shouldn't be too shaken up. Rolling in on the 2-day format. Pizza traded.
Yeah, so we're just.
I mean, guys, the zone's
bro,
gone
it's
away.
just getting there. Denmark is fucking showing up with Thomas
they're
HD.
Still locking in, and they're making sure this feud goes the whole way.
I really want to see Thomas HD do good.
I have to wonder what Podesai is doing. But he's still a lone survivor, as Thomas HD gonna have to dip into the meat. A new addition into this primal season. just enough but he's gonna have to get these eliminations to get as much heals as possible, because after this he has a long trek here. Now down to only 7 builds, armed with a purple pump. Man. All it takes is one big shot, a critical shot, and he could survive this.
Oh, Thomas goes down.
Critical
That's
shot
an
denied.
L.
Fasroki moves on through.
What is Motorcycle doing?
Bro, Fasroki's a demon.
He rolls into the fight. I'm like, yo, cool angle. I guess you were like dodging the storm
Just
and like
keep going,
you're about to
dude,
pick
right?
up on an
Wow.
Elam. Was he running away from Wolfies? Maybe
I don't know,
I'm not
dude.
even. What is Wolfies doing running into the storm?
I don't know.
Either way, this is
so strange.
strange for sure.
Come
and he
on.
got pumped hard too. So you know, Fasroki eating even better from the situation. They get 3 Elims, wrap up another. I guess the Nos just went down the storm. Wolfies is now
yeah.
waiting. What happened on this side of the map?
know.
4 different trios losing teammates, running in the storm. It feels like I'm watching an old version of NA West.
Wow.
Yeah, and then Podesai, who has been landing in Stealthy Stronghold on this side of the map, man. Stranger things do happen here in the competitive play for FNCS. But what's not strange is Trulex and Jerky and Queasy vying for height. Now we're taking a look here. Jules is all the way on the coastline. It's a very dangerous position to be, if I would say, because it's really rare that zone. I've never seen an in-game go towards those little islands. I have never seen anything like that. It could happen here today. I would not put it past the zone. But now we see Reason down at the skate park here trying to hold on. Now Wolfies is going up against a prehistoric foe, and that is a raptor. And
bro,
he gets in trouble.
Wolfies gets eliminated by a raptor. No way.
I'm done with that's the favorite portion of my map. I'm not sure what's going on in this 5th game.
No way.
But it's clear that a lot of people are having some fun. Wolfie's looking for that
Spooky.
last Elim 2
Bro.
solo player.
Wolfie's
Hey,
got
at least
eliminated.
give the Raptor a name for the feed, right? That's 2 Elims in the European FNCS so far that they've had. That could be a big one too for Wolfies, right?
Bro,
this man
he got taken out by Lizzie the Lizard.
Towards that top spot, he's looking to come
that's
all
an
the way
L,
through
bro.
and in. Actually, having a much more rougher day now that I look
GG's,
back at it,
Wolfies.
but
I could
just
see
got
the social
outplayed.
media post from Wolfies talking about the raptor, but you know,
no,
you're
it's not
right.
even that, man. It's just
Yeah,
he was already in a position
Yes,
where
I mean, he was already in shambles.
Reason
Rezon
as well.
goes
What's
down.
going on over here?
My goodness.
Damn.
Once again, the pattern continues of these guys having such good starts to tournaments, and then after that, getting so confident in mid-game and end-game fights that they bite off a little bit more.
Raffla is up too.
Another end game they won't see all the way towards the very end. It's good for the rest of the lobby. They get to be a little bit more calm. But man, how many times?
I think I'm gonna go for Andretta's trio.
It gets out of the top 5.
It's
And
called
Mr. Savage. I
Fool's
think that
Gold,
they're gonna be the
child.
ones to
You
take
hit a
the
little
W.
gold, get a little taste of the glory, and you think, yo, this is our day. But when it comes to FNCS, sometimes
Glorious just sitting
it's
on
not gonna
height.
be- you may have a little
They're
bit an
hoping to
hour
pull.
of the day, maybe. You just gotta hold on to those moments as much as possible and
Falconer.
let them go, so you could not
Oh,
be
no, it's not
blinded
Falconer. What am I
going
talking
forward
about?
here by that fool's gold. Now we're taking a look at everybody that's
Revsguard.
kind of set in 4 position here for this in-game, and right now the leader of the pack, Andretta, Mr. Savage, and Revsguard looking really good right now, really good. If zone pulls their way, look
They're
at that.
sitting
Look at
pretty.
the map. They have so many options, as you see right in front of Andretta's POV, to take tags at anybody making their way.
If they get height, they win the
They're trying to lead
game.
the lobby in points. Trulex, Queasy, and Jerky are really trying to
Queasy.
lead this lobby on high ground. Unfortunately, don't pull a version of zone that they can even work off of. There's another base already built, but I feel like Red Rush.
This is tier
Has
1
height.
fucking rotation right here, though.
Tomsy
This is
actually is all the way up top. Once again, the Brave and the
super
Bulls
smart.
all the way up top are looking to have another shot at controlling a game, but it was so tricky when that half and half came in. You know, it doesn't matter where your height position is. If you don't get it, you'll have to move.
And right now, the team that doesn't have to move is Andretta as much as possible.
Let's
They're
go.
a little bit- literally, dude, that couple of meters, because we're EU casting, that couple of meters is just enough to be that advantage that you need. Look at that. So many boxes right there that they're just ahead of this like congestion that you're seeing. And that is what's been putting them in those great positions. Let's see where this is. In about 45 seconds, Zone 5 will be revealed here. And already so many trios, they had no choice. They're kind of going into the south side of
They
this
really need to get surged.
turnstile. And it's about to get very spicy here in a second if Zone 5 pushes out of their way.
Even spicier for Queasy, Trulex, and Jerky. They're only 50 damage above Surge, and they had high ground for such a long time in one of the zones. So missed a few shots here and there.
Oh my God, they
Don't have
pick
as
up
much
an Elim. Nice
inventory or
refresh.
opportunity, but Mappy, Red Rush, Exteriors,
Oh,
they're
good
there.
team wipe.
Is that just one?
What a white
They're
dude.
chilling.
Shot rolling in from all 3 players to wipe out a team. That was
Mappy.
beautiful.
Wow. Stereo. Woo. That was really solid. That was kind of calculated how they were able to do that.
That was perfect.
Vital,
they played that so good, man.
Above. Let's see where Zone 5 goes. Let's see, Shio. It kind of goes. I'm kind of seeing where
you guys can't sleep on Mappy, bro. His trio is nasty.
No one's really making movements right now. And there it is. The zone has been revealed.
It's right beside what looks like Queasy Trulix, but here comes that Storm Surge rolling in. Looks like they might just be the only ones inside, but have to take shots. Stompy goes down. Red Star, Savage, and Andretta will have to slightly move, but aren't too far away. They can bar so many trios coming in. Still 52
they
players
could lobby.
Alive.
They could lobby them.
For the search to stop. Savage doesn't care about the lightning through the skies. There it is. Another big strike on the Shadow. This is the trio that's in trouble. They land one more shot. They have a chance for Stompy to survive, but Joe's gonna get picked up as well. It's gonna be looking real bad. They're out of AR ammo. Not sure what more they can do from their spot above them. Exterior's Mappy, they move over. Boom, Percival, Tomsy had height. They have to now operate off of low ground to take another big spot. Shadow's still down. The revive taking a long time. No, he got picked up. Stompy got sniped down. They went back through.
Shadow went down.
On Surge, taken out once again on the backside. Trulix though,
that's unfortunate.
They have height. Jules and Sun again are
Save
up to
It's
the
team is
stars
still
with
alive.
Zeku. They're also contesting and saying we want control of this game. Trulix has another opponent that this time they can see and hopefully strike down.
4ZR's trio right now on the low ground, right next door to Savages. No doubt Savage is not on that same layer, understanding that there is a dangerous trio on the. Now Zone 5 is about to close here, and we're already seeing Jules and Jerky here going to go for height. Where the first movement goes through as Ovation's Knight gets taken down. The great defense, the height awareness right now, that may be enough for them to hold on, but Jerky sees all this going across the way, and Jules' Son and Zico, they have to give it up. They have to give it up, and it goes away from them. So it's okay that they lost height because they have to move, but Trulix, Squeezy, and Jerky right now have to make some decisions.
That was the 7th and 8th place team having two different bases battling for height. As they look up in the skies, aerial warfare down below on land. The soldiers
Andretta, there's so much loot right there.
Fronts. Savage and Refsguard are down. It's up to Andretta to clutch this out on his lonesome. Unfortunate for him to have a few eliminations to make this a game that's actually worthwhile. He could clutch here, but man, only 100 effective HP to work with. No extra heals available in the inventory either. This is trouble.
He's in a bad spot.
And armed with a green pump. Oh my goodness.
The beam.
Sneaks in some shots here. Now working on the bottom side, looking to trip up the
he knocked one
right above here. Gets a knock on Fusion. Big
Let's
time.
Go.
That's going to be enough for that Siphon. That kind of answers that question there. How they get the heals here, Shao. Now he's picking his way through metal.
What that Elam or basically Knock did, he's not gonna get the full Elam for the moment.
This is how you play as a solo, guys. This is
there's the full finish. It comes in at the perfect time. The Siphon putting him back up to 55 HPs on the backside of zone. He can only take 3 more ticks. He finds a breath of fresh air, drop down back into the builds. He saw glory, freedom for
GG's,
a second,
Andretta.
but is imprisoned once again.
You did really good.
From saving on the side. Unfortunate for him all the way on the zone side.
Put your predictions in on which team you guys think is gonna win right now.
Trulix, Squeezy, and Jerky. Definitely light shining for them on height. They have no one to interrupt them for the moment. This could be their game to break into the top 5.
They are very close, though, to the mass that is right below
them.
I asked what were they going to do. They have decisions to make. I should have known that they're going to stay on height and expend as many materials as possible.
They're playing height as good as possible right now.
Side here. Trulix squeezing Jerky here with no eliminations here, only 101 points. They have to get some eliminations to move up the leaderboard, considering they're in 7th place here. An opportunity to get that victory out is right here. They could seize the moment here. Highcrest getting bullied right there on the backside of Storm. Screwy Expert right now making their way through. Trulix and Queasy and Jerky do not see them. Remember, we have the ability to see x-rays, so they're not be able to see. They're just kind of using their experience to understand where people come through. Mappy, even second from high, gets taken. Actually, he knocks Kaiser. So Mappy almost had an opportunity to take it, but now he has some dealing with on the other side underneath him to deal with. 4ZR, a solo here with 2 elims, total for the team 6. Tayson and Nate are all watching.
Very sizable gap between everyone between him and below. As the Sithos
this is wild.
There's so many solos available.
4ZR is like beasting as a solo. Mappy, GG's.
Put in the blender, completely taken out on low ground. Sapphic is all the way on the front side. Queasy and Trulix are not stopping the pressure. 4ZR as a solo player, still on the back, wall to wall against Jerky, but he doesn't get to be seen just yet. A reverse ramp edit makes enough space for him to drop down and reposition. That's glorious. Look at the edits in the builds.
Dude.
coming through. He finds another layer where he's uninterrupted. No one's on it. Somehow he has so much freedom to just chill. Let the placement roll through, but he'll have to act towards the end of this game.
He has two
FourZR
floppers in a
is
mid
playing
kit. If he
really
wants
well
to make
for a solo.
Storm play, it is an option for him. As we're seeing Jerky getting a knock on Iris here, the high team is trying to close out any hope to make sure that low ground doesn't steal away the victory royale. This is right in their hands right now. Big beams right on top of Stormy's head right now. Trulix has to be satisfied. That is Queasy. Knocks Siberia, confirms Siberia. Here it is, a top 3 situation. The beams go through, and in a blink of an eye, Queasy, Jerky, and Trulix get the victory royale. I thought that was going to be a drawn-out fight, but a couple of beams going everybody's way, and Trulix
that's a W.
Gets the victory royale. And as well, like I said, Elims matter a lot in a 12-game set.
That's the second time in that game we also saw one edit and moment come through with multiple shots that got, ended the fight or the game. That game, though, it was a top 10 advancement. We'll see exactly where they land on. We'll throw it over to Zeke, Levin, and Reese to see exactly how the leaderboard looks.
Thank you guys so much. And as always, you guys are killing it, or eliminating it on the broadcast. Don't worry, I saved it. Guys, wow. So I feel like we've been seeing Queasy, Trulix, Jerky. They've been on the high ground for like almost all of these games. I think there's only been one game they've not had high ground, but finally they're allowed to execute and close out on the victory royale.
Wow, Clicks, what's up? What's up, man?
What was kind of
welcome to the stream, bro.
Right? I love them being able to kind of put on their prowess in Fortnite, and that's what they need to do, right? As long as they can actually transition and make that to those final few moments,
been really good so far, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
Really
they've been in the position to do it many games, and they've picked up a second and an 8th. We've just not managed to clutch all the way to that victory until this moment. And to be honest,
this trio is going to be fucking crazy to watch out for, man.
We had here, I was thinking, man, there's so many good low ground teams. The low ground's going to be an absolute battle because we have like 6 or 7 teams who are super
My day's going great. How's yours going?
A lot of teams right now just playing pure high ground. We have obviously Queasy's team, and one of the teams that obviously we mentioned earlier, Zico's team. They've been always in that 5th zone, really high up. So again, this is going to be a peak battle between these teams who are consistently looking for high ground over and over again. And can Queasy's team keep pulling this off? Seems like they're being pretty consistent with it so far.
Yeah, their 5th zone positioning has been phenomenal.
What's up, M7? How's it going?
To almost have high ground in almost every single game you play is insane.
Bro, I wish I had as deep a voice as that guy.
Holy shit. This from them. We know that this is what they're going to do. We know they're going to have these games where they will eventually just get the victory out, because you go for it so many times, eventually the lobby is going to have to let you have it. And this was their game. Can they have more of these kind of games, right? That's the big question. I think
Queasy and Trulix have a chance of really winning the whole thing, man.
In terms of maybe, a couple
if they keep playing like that, where they get that victory,
sort of get to that now. I think that victory pushes them forward and maybe gives them that confidence going forward to continue to have these kind of
I want Mappy to win, though. I really do.
That's all you need, right?
Mappy is a beast.
Make sure you can execute upon your game plan, and that will help you make or break those moments. But boys, we're seeing a lot of
Mappy and
or
Andretta's team to win.
Number 5, and specifically what happens when an unstoppable force meets an immovable object. Talk to me about our last season's trios champions.
Look, Janus,
unfortunate.
We've seen this fight over and over again, but it has not gone this way for them yet. If you look at that exactly from High Chris's POV, right? This is they managed to both drop on the same gun going for it, but because the slightly better drop from High Chris, he manages to pick up this elimination.
Living is just like POV, Corpse and KSI's brother.
Scout out being on the high ground on the roof, but it doesn't yet again work out for him. Fantastic movement and peaks to approach that roof, right? Hen thought he had the advantage on the high ground, but notice this from High Chris, right? He moves up and notice where he is right now. He's on this right-hand peak from this wall, and the movement here is absolutely beautiful. Rather than jumping out and making it a 50-50 with Hen's team, he actually jumps up and to the left, and if you notice, he completely stays hidden almost, and this allows him to get a huge tag off on Hen when Hen doesn't manage to hit him back that much at all.
I love how they break that down.
Beautiful. And then High Chris again, good movement to drop down, come up behind, hit the big shot. And then,
they play this so well, man. You can learn so much from them.
These guys have done a really good job off spawn. They get the shakedown. They see Chapex trying to get out of there. He's trying to leave. He says to get any points we possibly can from here, but it wasn't.
It's the little shit that they do
go down and get eliminated. So this is a real shakeup because we've seen these guys
like it's the little shit like that, like those type of peaks that make the difference between like a good player and a great player. You know what I mean? Like, this is why these guys are at the top of the fucking food chain, man.
Yeah, guys, it's not going too well. Maybe we leave. So hopefully that's the confidence they need to maybe stay in this one. You can see the leaderboards, though. Refsguard and Dreta and Mr. Savage remain on top. And look, this is a big, big sign of things to come for these guys potentially, right? We saw last season what happens when you're at the end of the first day. It doesn't necessarily remain that way. So can these guys go into that next day and continue to say that? I say that at the top and comfortably, but 4 points separation.
No, you're good, bro. Don't even worry.
Exteriors and Mappy, and that's literally what 2 eliminations, really. So fine margins here coming into that final game, but the teams who have stepped up today,
Andre's in the first place right now with Mr. Savage.
The best entertainment we've had all season.
Yeah, and that's what happens when you get the best of the best trios all fighting against each other, all being in the same lobby together. And what is kind of disappointing from this is we have seen Vadil, no Riley Reason, go from first after game 1 to kind of really slowing down and not keeping that momentum going all the way down to 11th. Am I too worried about this for these guys? No, not at all. Because if you remember back
Mong, what's up?
These guys are not a consistent team in terms of their placement.
Welcome back,
but
baby.
They're just going to have
back.
another Victory Royale with 15, 20 eliminations at some point. Do something absolutely mad, and we will see them just fly up the leaderboards. Like, that's what their playstyle has always been about. They'll win one game, maybe even another one, and have a really high elimination other game. And I do not think we're going to keep seeing them on this second page at all. I do think these guys are a bit on form.
That's crazy to think that that's like a reasonable thing for them. Like a reasonable, yeah, we'll just get a 20 elimination game and go about our day.
Bro, that's what I was gonna say though, because we see that a lot from a trio that like they get the first win and then they just peter out. But for these guys, that's probably the best case situation for them, right? So we'll have to see. But one game left.
Who's winning right now? It's Andretta's trio.
We're gonna set the stage going into tomorrow, so we're not gonna waste any more time. Sancho West Shire Wager game number 6 of the FNCS Finals starts right now.
Let's go, baby. Game number 6.
If this was a one-day tournament, Savage, Refsguard, and Dreta, they would be on top, Sancho, and it would not be a close race either. They've done so well entirely rolling in. Yes, it's kind of a 4-point difference, but they look so much more consistent than every team behind them.
Bro, he's got a God tag off spawn. This is a W.
This day, these 6 games in the first place slot.
Absolutely agree with you there.
Right.
I know they're my pick, but they're
Mr.
more
Savage's trio with
Andretta
is winning.
Having a free drop spot and at the same time, Mr. Savage's ability to clutch. But hey, Andretta and Refsguard as well, been putting in the work alongside with them. But this trio right here, Mappy, doing the Cammy split, have been putting in the work. Kind of flying completely under the radar. No predictions picked for Red Rush and Exteriorize and Mappy, and they're looking really solid right now considering they're in second place. They're a team that does not like to play for height. They kind of sit in the mid ground, and that is why they've been avoiding all the chaos down the low and been surviving all those high ground retakes. And now
Phoenix, what's up, baby? How's it going?
Here fighting for their ride here is Blaster Alpha Nikos.
Nikov Alpha Blaster will roll in. If you're looking
Save
at all
it,
these
it's already
types
fighting.
of big names with Crizzy, Save It on the side as well. Why aren't they all the way in the top 5? What happens? What's the difference between, you know, Red Rush, Exterior?
All they need is this one fight and they're chilling.
Jerky, and these
they
two
get this
trios,
W.
well, it's just the drops. These guys are forced into a fight every single time. It's been going on for all 6 games here in Weeping Woods. And if you end up winning just half of them, you only end up playing half the games compared to everyone else. Unfortunately, because of this, both these trios are just now so much more bad.
Oh, vitality goes down.
Nikov, Save It is picking him off as well. It's just
GG's.
trouble.
This is what we're seeing here, the inexperience of Blaster Trio landing in Weeping Woods. They have no other options but land the main cabin, and now they're being pinched from someone in rolling in a vehicle here. Blaster, Alpha, Nikov. I'm expecting this trio to make adjustments as Rifle is coming into this fight right up in it with the car.
Blaster gets shit on.
This is too much to handle as Crizzy, Save It, and Rifle wipe out that trio. But
bro, you just can't handle Save It, man. Save It is so.
We're gonna go to the main cabin. You know that's what the Weeping Woods trios do. And who's there? Save It.
He's a
we
demon.
all thought going forward. I remember Reese kind of looking into this fight. They thought that they were split it east to west. That's usually what happens when 2 teams are landing into Weeping Woods. But that's not happening at all. But what is happening? Fireworks are still happening in Craig Eclipse.
Hen down again, but a quick trade on the Vortex makes it a 2v2. Titan Chapix Gonna be head to head. Janus is gonna be on the side as well
Oh.
against Chris.
That's Spaz putting out a lot of damage.
Big fight brewing up, and they have total control of low and height from the side of our FNCS champions. Chris, though, is getting close and personal, almost retaking it all the way up top with bricks. It's gonna be very hard to shoot down. Janus and Janus and Chapix, excuse me, are gonna be right there side by side all the way on height. Knight is trying so hard to get all the way up top. Chris, haircut a little bit there on the jump. Got to be very careful.
Watch how he's gonna play the angles.
Are frustrated. They're ready to just clap back on this fight. They've only lost this duel once today, and they're not trying to have that mistake happen again. Here goes Chapix down again on the hunt.
Uguay is such a good fighter.
On the side doesn't care. He knows that Chris is out of mats, and there it is. The big pickup. They'll let Hen run out for now. They have the reboot close by as well. Still making this a 2v1. Chapix is not stopping with this purple pump. He's still just hitting shot after shot. It might just be 30. But if you hit it 35 times, the damage adds up, and now Knight is on the retreat.
And that
Knight is terrified, bro. That dude is shaking in his fucking boots right now, bro.
At Craigie Cliffs, we're talking about a message need to be sent by Janus and Chapix and Hen to discourage Chris, but Reese has been talking about they've been landing here multiple seasons. They may not be able to leave. This may be one of those kind of pre-fights that we'll be watching throughout the entire FNCS tournament here in season 6. This is just game 6 right now. It's gone so far. If you're just tuning in, 5-1 so far. 4-1. See, there it is. I did it. It took me a while, but I did it.
Janus getting the reboot
4-1 now.
off.
It's gonna be 5-1 basically rolling in this.
That's what I mean. I was probably getting ahead of myself. I already said 5-1.
You almost did it.
I'm already in the future with Savage's clutch. That's gonna happen in game 12. I'm already there. I have to come back in my time machine, come back to the present. Just like Chapix is doing, you know, he always values the present. And now we're taking a look here at the first zone being revealed. It's a Lazy Lake centered zone. So we all know the bad snipers and
wow.
Oh
we're
my
seeing
God,
all that happen.
I'm getting the the flashbacks of like game number 1.
You're in a
time down to the mountain.
Yeah,
it's like it's trouble, man. Every time I see this zone, it keeps pulling south. It doesn't ever go up.
Or Misty Meadows Lake. We all love that kind of finish as well. A lot of aquaticness.
Yeah, it's tough games though for everyone, no matter where you land. Even if it's Misty on the map, you really have to make sure you're playing endgame properly. But still, early game Tings going down, and Craggy Cliffs will have the reboot run through, and Knight try to survive and be a little bit of a nuisance as these guys move out.
Banks, what's up? What's up, man?
They're rolling in today as well, defying expectations. 17th place for the first moment, and everyone had them like at the bottom 5. So this is really good, a very good showing on the first day. Remember, 2-day competition. You want to have a good pedestal. The next day, absolutely turn on the NOS and be even better.
And right now, their mental's feeling good right now. Going at Colossal
Chilling, man. Just watching FNCS, bro. We're watching all 3 regions today.
On the drop spots, you just look at your rotations, and maybe zones go your way.
For the moment, 2 first to 5th. 5th being 4ZR Nate on your screen right now, alongside Tayson. It's the closest we've seen in terms of EU finals after 5 games. So
what do you mean?
They're definitely giving us a show for day 2. Usually, the situation in EU is like there's a clear villain all the way in first with a big gap. I personally thought it'd be Savage just the way they're.
So YouTube thinks that when you gain a lot of subs at once, sometimes it thinks that it's sub bots and it removes them, and I don't know why, but it is what it is. YouTube just don't want to see me winning.
They're playing out, but yeah, Red Rush Exteriors Mappy, it's looking good.
You talk about villains in the lobby. They're definitely the nemesis of Save It's Trio. Some homework has got to be done to do some defense. Maybe rotate out. Crizzy getting tagged, no shields, cracked. Noah trying to get in, trying to box dive his way in. Rifle now to help out his teammate. A little bit of a pause in the defense as Save It is dealing with his own issues on the other side of the rest of the trio of Noah Riley. This is the classic, like you mentioned, the classic pincer play that they have. But actually, Reason gets knocked.
Yeah.
Shadow knocks Reason, so Noah Riley and
YouTube don't want to see me winning, bro. Here. So you know,
they disengage us. Shadow, Joe, and Stompy are
we just got to fight through it, you know.
Yeah, this fight's a little bit too extravagant, too accessible. Look at it, the high ground.
But he don't know, man. YouTube don't know, man.
On the right, a separate
the pride
team
is too strong. The family's too strong, bro.
The funny part is they were winning at both. It's just it was one mistake made by Reason. They have to dial it back a bit, and I believe they'll be running right back through as well.
for them, their perfect
Save is
conditions in a box
perfect right
fight
now.
is just no third parties. We've seen them last season on those West Coast against Ingram. They just got so many clean, quick box fighting out the way. But as soon as you introduce a third party fourth, sometimes fifth, that's when things get a little bit messy for them. It's not as comfortable for them, and you're already
No
seeing
way
that
they're going
they
to
do
W
tend
key right
lose
now, right?
a member there, slipping from starting in the first place, going down to middle of the board right now, going into this match 11th place.
And this is an insane strategy. These guys look like superheroes. And I understand they have the skins on too, but getting shot by Butrick, a big drift around an entire mountain. I'm not sure who the driver was there. Absolutely insane. They're ready
they're
for the
keying the
fight.
shit
They're
out
going
of
for
them.
tags. I feel like this trio, Kiko's, is just confused. How did this happen? They were in a car.
Bro,
and they were far
Tayson
away going
lands
the
a
other
huge
way.
shot.
He gets absolutely beamed and dealt with in 2
What?
seconds. My God. Forza,
Yo.
Tayson, and Nate are playing out of their minds.
Oh
Hottie
my
picks up
god.
Janice in the feed, but you're right here. My question is, you know, Putrix Trio is usually landing out there in Retail Row. What kind of rotation or adjustment did they make to end up
Wow.
over here?
Tayson is such a god, bro.
For Storm Surge by getting bowed right to the dome right then and there. But let's take a look here. Yes, Janice
Tayson-
knocked here. This is what
Tayson's
happens
trio
when
is
you're
not
being
one to
contested in your
fuck
draw
with.
spot. I've already mentioned before, you're just late. But we all know when you're late to work, you're late to school, you're not even eating correctly, you're not even...
When they
you're a
choose
little
to
bit more
key you,
aggressive with the
they
way you're
choose to
driving,
key
you just make a
you.
lot of mistakes, and before you know it, you're gonna get punished
Like,
when you get to school. That teacher's sitting
they
there
choose
like, you're
death
late.
on
Now you have to
sight,
stay a little
bro.
bit late and in
They
detention.
always choose
I'm not talking
homicide.
about
It's
flashbacks.
crazy.
I'm just saying, that's just what I've heard, what happens at school.
Very, very
I was a good
descriptive.
student. I was a good student. I was a good kid.
Overly descriptive though. So hey, I don't know. I'm not gonna challenge it. I believe you.
Just
But
say it. I'm a good kid.
my man had accuracy on that one. Okay. Yeah, Head and Chapix, it is a little bit of trouble, and they're rolling in the top 10 as well. Off
Head
of
and
day one,
Chapix are
115
fucking in
points,
trouble.
Up to 121 off the off spawn fight, and you know the placement that will eventually, hopefully, roll through to get them a little bit higher. They have a lot of corn. They have a med kit as well. Apples. This is the orchard, right? Like in terms of tournaments that had survive as long as possible. You know, this was used as one of the spots to be in there, right?
Bebs
Yeah,
went,
like-
remember, retreated back in there and was able
I'll
to survive.
pop in when
get
you
some
stream
first
again.
place
Oh, I'm gonna
points
be
qualified.
streaming all day,
Yeah, so
man.
it's like it's a very good spot to
We're
be in
streaming
if you're in
all
trouble,
3
I guess.
tournaments, bro.
It's the worst or the best of the worst on the map. So good for them so far, but I wonder how much they're gonna get. Right now, if you're looking at, you know, just claiming space in
I'll
the game,
catch you later,
really
Mon.
trying to move up and be
Peace out, bro.
proactive,
Appreciate you
I feel
tuning
like
in.
4ZR, Tayson, and Nate are doing exactly that. Ditch the car, move up Caddy Mountain. They've seen this zone before.
Oh, bro, this
they know
is
where it goes.
dangerous
First
for
of all,
them.
Bloom and Tomsy will do the same thing they've done every game we've seen so far. Make an early base. While that happens, Kaiser,
The Rift.
oh, it's Hellfire. They come rolling in, and just like Nate, 4ZR, and Tayson did
Wow.
the Kiko before, it's not a drift this time. It's a parachute fly-in that gets them beamed, caught by surprise.
Catcha, what's up? What's up,
Not
man?
engaged though, so they'll be able to play out the rest of their game.
What a smart use of that rift you could get. You could use
Bro.
gold. We haven't talked about that. That in-game currency. They purchased that rift right on the south side Lazy Lake, and they pushed right on through.
They're
and
below
pretty much
surge.
cut
They
a
need to start
dangerous
getting it.
rotation Considering they had to use
Oh.
materials to go up it, but now
King
Kaiser
just got
gets
lasered.
beamed down from Forziar named Tayson
Oh
with
my
the triple
God.
spray. And Bloomy's trio is watching this from a height. That's why Forziar has to protect their head. But that's a huge knock that they get
Wow.
from Kaiser, and they get all the way through. And wow, Tayson, Nate, and 4ZR, 130
Bro, they
points.
are
They may
ridiculous.
be able to finish the day in the top 3.
Game 6 effect. It doesn't matter if there's 12 you have to play in total. On that last game, you'll see certain teams playing past their potential, playing absolutely insane, and that's exactly
out
what
of body.
Tayson, 4ZR, and Nate are doing right
Wow.
now. Up in Caddy Corner, so many trios around them. They're still finding a way to get so many close personal eliminations. Look at the status of the lobby, though. Look at the
Bro,
game
they're
5 songs. We have so many
ridiculous.
storm
These guys are
fights.
just built
We have like
different, bro.
61 people
Kaiser
in the
got
fifth zone,
beamed,
and
yeah.
so many less teams playing overall. Now, 30 teams still alive. Only 2 have gone
Bro,
down.
Kaiser got shredded.
Even though all these picks that Nate, Tayson, and 4ZR are getting is just 1 player or 2 players per trio. Everyone wants to survive and play out this last game.
Bloomy wants to hold on to height and try to get a victory royale, but I don't know how strong they're going to be. They're going to have to play
They're
out
so
of
far
their
above
minds
surge,
and
they
out
don't
of
need to
their
even look for
norm
anything.
to be able to hold on to height to this
But knowing them,
dangerous
they're
lobby
just so
that still
aggressive, they're
lurks
going
down
to push
below.
another team and look
And
for
one thing
another
about
pick.
these circumstances, even what you're talking about with Tomsy and Bloomy, right? They might not be as good as playing for the win, so to speak, when it comes down to game 6. Trios like Marine, Lanouf, people who've won the reboot round, Save it as well, right? Who've survived off spawn, they get a mini buff this game. They're used to and thrive in playing in situations where
Thomas
everyone's
HD
going
and Nas
for the
and
win
Flick, they're
or going
doing
for
a
max
good
placement.
position.
So watch out for those trios. Looking off Thomas HD as well. I'm not sure if it's like the Benjamin Button effect. I don't know what to call it. As the games go through, they look even more youthful throughout what they're playing with, right? You go from games 1 to 6 up to 12, they look better and better, start to get even more points. You're seeing that. They're learning.
Wow, Mappy's team takes out another one.
Mountain. Mappy, Red Rush, and Serials are not making it easy for anyone to catch up. Second place, still getting elims, still looking good so far. I feel like they've tied now with Refsguard, Andretta, and Mr. Savage. They're very close to at least, 2 eliminations.
These are 2 teams that are going to be fucking really crazy to watch out for, man.
Day 1, and in this game, they could take it over. From that first place team, a big shot onto Red Rush, though. It's the 33rd place team, I believe, of Podesai rolling in to affect these guys, but he has a med kit.
If they survive till endgame, they're fucking
everyone's trying their
chilling.
best as hard as possible.
And Mappy's trio has been doing their best. In the semis, they've been getting an average of top 10 placement. So that best is really working for them in this finals. The momentum, they are riding that wave really strong here. And they've been seeing it here, considering they're in second place. They're all, like I said, they stay away from the chaos of the low ground. They in about two grid places above that mid ground, and they avoid all the chaos and take height when their opportunity presents itself.
And the scariest thing about Red Rush, Serials, and Mappy as well, if they make it to top 10, they usually end up going all the way through towards the 5th, the 3rd, the 2nd places. So very dangerous to have them in the end game. These guys are survivors.
And they get 3 elims every time they play in the semifinals.
How old are you? I'm 26.
Elimination points, considering that they're worth 2. But now we're on here tasting 4ZR.
But I've been into competitive gaming for a long time.
Looking really strong, coming all the way.
Wow, they're gonna get lobbied.
And look at the position they have. And the Alexis trio coming from Camp Cod, not just yet at the tippy top. We have Queasy Trulex, no surprise, at close to height here. But we're still
Mappy's making a really good rotation here.
Retail Road down on the low ground here on the terrain. Look at this rotation.
You're half my age.
Once they get through this kind of line of defense of everyone rotating through, there's going to be someone sitting. Those green arrows on the mini map right now are going to be greening them with bullets.
Oh,
man, for Red Rush right now,
Serios gets fucking lit.
Rotates, every time I feel like I see a team not building enough and just rotating in a line, especially out of a POI, there's always a jump scare. Exterios left behind. Just rotate. You do not want to stop in this spot. Those green arrows, you were talking about them. Yes, that's Mr.
Serios
Savage.
Got fried, bro.
If you stop for even a moment, once again, if they see a frame of your body not protected by builds, they're hitting their shots. So Red Rush wants to move over. This is no man's land between the mountain and Retail Row. You do not want to be
caught get out of there.
There's too many teams looking
Save it,
for surge tags. So try to make it over to the mountain. Looks good for now. Lots of other teams are barely making it in. Look at the congestion on the word corner. And the corner are these teams in this spot right now. So many of them have to move in. And because of the mountain, look at the way the arrows are positioned on the mini map on the bottom right. Because of the mountain, everyone's looking into the caddy corner. There's no way they're going to be able to move even an inch further. They're stuck on zone line. Everyone is.
Flick, Nas, and Thomas are in a good position for a free rotate.
Deeper and deeper. Right now, Thomas, HD, and Nas and Flick, they do get a big pool of rotation here, but so far, no one's in their way. Everybody that's on the level of Andretta's trio that we saw just a moment ago, they're the ones in trouble. Now, Thomas HD, could he get that bow shot that he's known for? That accuracy from a long distance to slow down that team from height? No, he doesn't connect. But look at it. Look how free this looks like. And you can't imagine what's happening on that mini map you see on the north side.
Bro, this is such a free rotate. It's crazy.
Now, Zico and Jules Sun are going to do this as a duo right now. And they're the one that are sitting right there. So that's going to be one less gun looking down on this rotation.
The freedom for Thomas HD's team makes the rest of the trios basically reek of desperation. Everyone's moved in so fast, aren't playing as much of a patient game. Meanwhile, Thomas, who waited all the way back on zone line near the north, has this free, basically, section of control on the entire map. Interacting with that NPC will give you random loot drops, and they get minis to top off with as well. That's huge. Be careful, though, how low you go on this mountain. You're going to have to wrap all the way back up here, this Gamma Guild squad, but there's 2 more or 3 more players still waiting. Down below, it's N, Chapix, and Janice. They've survived somehow, and they're rebooted all the way up. They've looted an extra spot on the left side of the map, and they look good so far.
Now let's see who else is looking good. Anilex is second from height, and they're going to
Mr.
have an
Savage's
opportunity
trio
to
is
turn
chilling,
their
bro.
fate around here. This is game 6. If you're just tuning in, the last game of the day for the EU region. Tomorrow, we have other 6 more games to go to determine who is the FNCS champion. Will it be the defending champion of Hen, or will a new trio step up to the plate? Right now, Refsguard, Andretta, and Mr. Savage are in the #1 spot, but only by a victory royale, because Red Rush is right behind them with 140 points going into this match.
Look at some of the patterns in terms of positioning we see so far. Once again, Sun and Jules on high ground. 3 games in a row they haven't been able to keep it, but this time it's on top of a mountain. Who could possibly take it over from this spot? Andalex doesn't have peppers. I see Queasy. I see Trulex again right below them. They might be the ones. I'm laughing because it happens every game. They need to have that one game of pop-off. Meanwhile, Stormy Rat Kirachi 2 down to a duel.
All that
130
loot.
points. They're inside
All that
top
loot.
5. 4th place affected. Lost a leg in this end game race for this final game. It'll be trouble to see how they work around it. The last 2 first and second place teams from the FNCS are rotating from the same side. That's Anas and Hen's team. On the bottom right side of the map, they look absolutely free right now, rotating in, but no one has zone. No one.
Wow.
So everyone has to move out, and it's in this treacherous mountainous terrain. It's gonna be so tricky to move in. The bottom teams, they already go for it. Savage, Refsguard, and Andretta, they look good for where they were, but they're trapped. This is disaster.
It is like a conga line, but instead of everyone dancing and having a good time moving the way forward, it's as if everyone's trying to fight for that front spot in the conga line. That's what we're talking about. The brawl is about to go down. In about 5 seconds, you're already seeing the rotations happen. Red Rush, our second place team, already out and moving forward. Our first place team, not yet did safely. Look, all many people are ahead of them. They might just go ahead and decide, maybe we should just get some elims, considering that this rotation may be way too deadly for them to survive.
Savage, Andretta, and Refsguard, you're right, have to play perfectly to hold on to this first place spot. Right now, it's going to be trouble. Red Rush has tied up the game entirely. They have 1 elim kind of separating them. It's a 2-point difference. Savage moving in, not a comfortable spot. He's used the low ground. He finally finds a way to roll in. That's on to second place. Yes, Mappy down. They're looking to grasp first place by the throat and take them out. Savage looking for the finish. Finally finds it. Exterios down as well towards the backside. This is looking so good.
And they get a harpoon.
For their chance to win out on day 2 as well.
Wow, what would be a statement to be made to the EU region that come out on top, a newly formed trio here with 2 elims and great positioning.
They're putting patient down on mid ground. I was talking about Sun and Jules all the way on height. It looks like Queasy, yes, did go up and overtake them while they were going for, you know, that baseball game of putting your hand over the other hand on the bat over and over. It looks like Fastroki has high ground as well now somehow. Jerky actually gave it up to move fast ways in. 6th zone, the zone's already moving. It's going way up the highest mountain available on the island. You have to stay ahead of it. Even popping a mini like Tayson is right now could ruin your game.
This is what we're talking about. The fight for the top of the mountain. The king of the hill right here will be able to walk away with game 6, as all these trios are doing in 12 games to be the kings on top of the EU mountain. Savage, Refsguard, and Andretta still late on the rotations, but no eyes looking their way. Look at their mats. So much has been expended down to the soft match, as you're seeing Zako take a knock on Flois here.
Here we go.
Pizza and Fastroki here on the height. Tayson up there from second from height, but Stacy is there as well. Can Pizza, Fastroki, and Ardent hold on? They are now at the top of the summit, and they're gonna turn and burn, but so many trios are right behind them on their back step here. Ardent, Fastroki, Pizza are sitting on height. Jerky, Queasy, and Trulix here, not an opportunity to take it, but Andalex is just right there. He might be able to sneak up from the backside.
Everyone's found their footing on this mountain, but the incline's making everything look so slippery. Thomas HD, he gets wrecked. He falls to Wakey. It's looking like trouble. Savage finds another elim. He's surviving somewhere down below. Pizza has to build higher, higher, and higher. Refsguard is finding more while Hen thrives as well. Down on low, it's a fist fight. Absolute brawl. Jerky's in the mess too. Pizza takes them out. He gets close and personal for the match. It's dangerous. But now it's time to move off that mountain. Look at the zone, Sancho. They're going straight down to absolute low ground. Once again, have to jump off and slide down the way. Wakey takes so many shots. Ardent falling like a Jenga tower down the bills. He has nothing to hold it through. And he falls all of height, taken out Tayson, and Fastroki are the only ones left after 5 different squads. Anulex, X-Squeeze, and Snazy are the gatekeepers down below, but even they don't survive. Fastroki down below, Flick taken out on height. It might be Hen and Chapix with Janus, the ones who were almost taken out at the start of this game. The win at the very end. Fastroki down to a threat of HP, taken out mid-air. And my goodness, what a story for the final game. What a story for our FNCS champions to come back in game 6.
10 eliminations and the victory royale. My voice is going to catch up, but that was an echo that will last all the way till tomorrow. The defending champions say, not so fast, Shia. We're here to defend the crown.
Sancho, they were down so bad.
That was so crazy.
Corn. They were scavenging. I was watching Save the World, man. It was so weird for this trio to come all the way in the back, survive the hardest zone we've seen in FNCS history. I'm gonna say that is the hardest zone to play, and to come in first, they're still in champion form.
Unbelievable. And to be able to save not only the world, but their run for a repeat championship back-to-back. I am Sancho West alongside with Shio. That was just day 1. We still have day 2. 6 more games to determine who's on the top. Let's kick it to the top analysts in the EU region, Reese, Levin, and my boy, Zeke, for the host.
The back-to-back, the dream, it's still alive.
That's
Guys,
crazy.
Last season's trios, I mean, I literally cannot stress this enough. We have not seen this trio all season long. And if you just have to look at the raw numbers, you're thinking, we haven't seen them. Look at all these other trios. Look how great they're doing. And they show up and say, I'm sorry, did you forget who's holding the Axe of Champions? Because that's us. That's not anybody else. That's us, Zeke. My apologies, Janice. I'm sorry. Y'all are absolutely insane. And you know what, Reese?
I can't believe they pulled that out.
Fantastic way to close out the first 6 games in EU.
Yeah, it was really, really good to watch. It was actually very, very similar to game 1 because obviously we saw pretty much exactly the same zone coming from that mountain, moving down to Camp Cod. However, it was a bit mirrored for our team, right? Because if you notice, Janus, Chapix in that last game were one of the teams who were stuck on the high ground, who got shot out, who fell down to Vidil and Noah Riley in game number 1. Game number 6, they've learned their mistake. They knew exactly what they did wrong in that game 1, went straight down all the way down to the low ground, and they were the ones in that commanding position purely because of the huge change in verticality from there. Realistically, I was kind of worried about the teams who haven't played this season, you know? Like, I was worried about these guys, thinking, how are these going to perform after not playing through the qualifiers, not playing through the semifinals? I should not have been worried about these guys at all.
Yeah, honestly, I think
we can't count them down.
Concerns there.
Can't count them out.
Concerns and reasonable concerns. When you see the level of play we've had from qualifier to qualifier, even in the reboot round and the semi-finals, definitely causes for concern. But at the end of the day, class is class, and these guys remain one of the best trios in the world. I can't stress that enough. The cast has emphasized how amazing it is that, you know, the back-to-back potential's there. Back-to-back in trios, we've seen back-to-back in other modes and whatnot, but back-to-back in trios for these guys would be historic. And
bro, if they get back-to-back trio FNCS champions, that's gonna be nuts.
They won 3 games out of the 12. They've already won 2, right? So tomorrow maybe they win 1 of the most consistent games, and you're looking at a back-to-back championship. Who knows? I'm getting a bit excited. I am getting excited, but genuinely phenomenal stuff from these guys today.
Well, let's take a look at our standings and see where every trio is. Remember, this sets the stage Savage going into tomorrow's games. Now take a look though. Revsguard, Andretta, and Savage. After all that has happened on the day, they are still holding out in that number 1 spot. But Hen, Janus, Chapix, our Chapter 2 Season 5 champions, are right behind them, Reese. They are right there.
Like, look how close the top 5 here is. 13 points between them all.
They need to get another win
we were
tomorrow.
Looking back at the top of the show through kind of Asia results, and there's only 20 points between 1st down till 10th. There is 51 points here. So a huge difference between kind of the top, but that top 5 is looking really, really good right now. And these aren't just the names we keep seeing in the end game, funnily enough, that managed to get up to the top 5 as well. You know, we've seen huge performances from every single one of these trios today. And look, that's what's climbed them all the way up to the top of the leaderboards.
Yeah, this is a crazy, crazy set of leaderboards going into tomorrow, because look at 1st and 2nd. That's 1 point. 1 point differential we're talking about here. And yeah, this is going to cause for a lot of chaos tomorrow in terms of just the levels of excitement, the levels of hype.
This is going to be crazy tomorrow, man.
Tayson and Nate, they're involved in this one. Queasy, Trilex, and Jerky, who we talked about how consistent they've been on height. Kiriachi, Stormer, and Tusu, who have sort of been a sleeper team, even though they've literally been in the top 10 like the whole day.
Yeah.
It's like, I feel like we don't see much of them, but they clearly are one of the more consistent teams today. And so I'm really excited to see sort of how these sort of games play out across tomorrow. Some of these teams definitely have the potential to improve on what they've built today.
Bro,
but for the
these
teams that
standings
are very
are
top,
nuts.
it's going to be about maintaining the standard.
Yeah, and like they've been doing that so far. 6 games
East
deep.
is gonna
like I
be
said, these are the
crazy.
big names on the region that we keep seeing over and over again. You know, Flickernas and Thomas, they've kind of been bouncing around between the top 10 to kind of that 11th till 15th slot. They've been going up and down, up and down, up and down. But I mentioned this at the top of the show, right? 2 seasons ago, season 4, these guys were in 14th and they managed to clutch all the way back up to 3rd. So being in 8th right now, this might be a familiar position for them, right? They might think, you know what, we're comfortable here.
Yeah.
We know they have that confidence.
Bro,
that they
who
can
is this guy messaging
clutch
me?
huge in the second day. And you know what? Even though after this is still incredible performance being 8, no doubt. For these guys, they're looking for a championship. They're not looking for an 8. And they must go into day 2 with the confidence that they have and they know that they can do that.
Yeah, and for that tree in particular, the one thing that sort of has surprised me about their performance has been games where we've seen them struggle with Surge. You mean to tell me these guys can actually now go away, come back tomorrow, and just you know sort of plan out and avoid these issues that they've had?
What do you guys
Surge
think? You
out
guys
there?
think
These guys will
tomorrow
be
Andrade
fine. These
Savage
guys will
keep
be
it?
fine. So look, I'm excited to see who's done sort
Like,
of well. Let's take a look at that next page.
it's
though,
a
right?
1
Because
point
beyond
difference.
the top 10, there have been a couple other teams who have impressed us, right? The likes of Joe, Stompy, and Shadow, who have won a game today. Same thing for Noah Riley, Vidal, and Reason, who I want to highlight these guys in particular because they started off the day well. They started off the day, you know, how you mean to finish is what I referred to it as earlier, winning that first game. But since then, it's been a downhill spiral for them. And it's funny because they're next to another team who you'd expect to be doing a lot better in Anderlecht Nation next week.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think we've not really talked about Anderlecht X much. They've made sure they didn't have an ego about this drop, right? We know these guys are really, really good at Catty Corner, and that's where they've been the whole season. But Zico's team was very, very focused on landing there, so they kind of dipped out. They said, we're going to go Weather Station, we're going down to Camp Cod. And you know what? So far, it's not necessarily been too great for them because, again, these are guys who are looking for a championship title, not necessarily guys who are looking to be down in the middling, right? Not necessarily being down here. Same with kind of Noah, Verdeel, and Reason as well. So I think day 2, we could see some kind of strategies change up. You know, Anderlecht's maybe going back to Catty Corner, maybe
EU
a
was
bit more of a
crazy.
50-50 drop. I don't know. I'm not necessarily think that's the right play, but maybe we'll see it tomorrow. Same with Vidal, no Riley. They might struggle with their surge a little bit today, so they might go and fight some other team instead.
Reese, it really frustrates me with that trio in particular because Anderlecht Nation squeezed a characteristic of some of the best teams in the game is that, you know, they will stick with their spot. They garner that respect, and seeing a top trio like them back off definitely alarming, and it hasn't necessarily paid out for them. Regardless, though, we will come back tomorrow. Let's take a look at the team who has really been in the spotlight today. Refsgard, Entretta, and Mr. Savage. What a day it's been for them. You know, we talk about Mr. Savage finally getting that first FNCS championship to sort of, you know, put in the collection
Bro,
of
if
accomplishments he's had so
Savage
far in his career.
wins
Same can be said for the likes of
and pulls
Entretta
it-
and Refsgard.
And they
These
pull
guys
it
have
out,
been
that'd be
phenomenal
crazy.
today.
They haven't. You know,
But I'm
like,
kind of hoping for the back-to-backs.
Like many people, I say Mr. Savage is the best solo player in EU. You know, I've done a statistical analysis. Yeah, it's an opinion, but I've done the statistics to back it up. But he's proving right now today that he not only is that, he's also one of the best team players in the world coming in first after that kind of day 1. So playing so well with Refsgard and Entretta as well. And you look, you can see the stats straight up. Elims versus the top 10 teams. They've had 17 Elims total against the teams who are in the top 10 currently, which is huge because these guys are knocking out people who are super, super important in their own games. Same with full trio Elims. They've had 4, so they're wiping out 4 full trios, which may not seem that much. That does mean that they're actually committing fully to the fights after they get like a tag or maybe a single knock on a body somewhere, that they're fully going in for that and claiming those points. Remember, it's 2 points per Elim, so they're really capitalizing as much as they can off of the advantages that they get earlier on.
Yeah, and you can see here they had 5 top 10 games. You know, 5 out of the 6 games
It's
coming
not bad.
top 10. Isn't too bad. Isn't too bad whatsoever. And the average placement of 8th there as well. These guys have been incredibly consistent, but we keep on referencing this. We've seen that in the past. Last FNCS, you saw a similar thing with Cammy's trio. Day 2, they weren't able to sort of keep that standard. We take a look, though, at game 1, bringing it all the way back to that first game. What a win it was for Reason, Noah Riley, and Vidal. You thought that they would come out and continue on this pace. You thought they were going to come out today and sort of, you know, consistently have these pop-off games. It hasn't been that way. It's been the No Rally Video and Reason of old, where they have a pop-off, but things sort of filter out from there.
Yeah, hopefully they get more pop-offs tomorrow. Like I said, 2 days, plenty of opportunities to do so, but a team that has been popping off through all 6 of the games, Savage, Restguard, and Drea, we mentioned them already. And this was game number 2 that they won by Mr. Savage using the heal-off strategies that we already mentioned and went over, we saw on the broadcast, taking a single tick to zone, using the medkit instead, and then the corn in the inventory, which isn't necessarily something we see too often, but I think we've been seeing a lot of corn plays. You know, I make a lot of memes about the cabbages, but we've seen a lot of corny plays today, if I may say so.
Anything you need to win. Anything you need to win. Zeke's loving that one.
Yeah.
Plays.
That's a Zeke classic right there. That's his kind of joke.
That's Zeke's kind of joke. Look, Stompy, Joe, and Shadow have been no joke, because when they won this game, it really sort of solidified them as a top dog in this lobby. You know, they are one of the dominant height teams, and they have the potential to have games like game 3 where they will just sort of win out from height. You see Tayson, they're crawling around below. He stands no chance when these 3 are up on height and healthy. You can see now they're going to just drop down and sort of close out the game. Stompy hitting the pivotal shots. Like, these guys are a real threat coming into tomorrow.
They are, but they only capitalized on that one game, and that's what.
Sorry, guys, give me 1 second.
Strategies going for height.
Revsguard is winning, yeah.
People who have consistently managed to capitalize on those games, Hen, Janus, and Chapix. This was their first victory royale of the day, game number 4. After this was them winning 4 off-spawn fights in a row, and they were kind of finishing that off in real fashion. Obviously, the game 5 they ended up losing off-spawn, but game number 4 here, this was massive. This was definitely, I think, a pivotal moment for me and you, because we look at this and we go, these guys could win. They could win the whole tournament while being contested, and this in EU is something completely new.
Yeah, 100%, right? Like, for this team to sort of, you know, come and win a back-to-back FNCS. It's funny, right? Because Guild have the only other, well, Guild have one of the few back-to-back FNCS champs there is in all of Fortnite, and for them to have 2 more on their roster would be pretty funny, right? It would make sense. But look, this game here, Queasy, Trilex, and Duriki, they were really consistent today in terms of being, you know, a threat on high ground. They finally were able to get that victory royale that sort of cemented them in our minds as being one of the top teams of today. It's just about whether they can do it again tomorrow.
Yeah, fingers crossed, because again, we've mentioned they are super focused on height. But
all right, let me show you now.
Again, this was the final game of the day. Remember, 6 more tomorrow.
Like, I'm sorry, dude. I hate fucking doing this shit.
Go down on the low ground on this honestly chaotic.
You know, I try to be nice and like,
at the way that
because of my status. This is stupid.
Remaining, but
I said, dude, get out of my DMs.
On the ultra low, pressuring
right?
the teams up above. And what could
he said never first shooter. I said, I'm gonna tell you one more time, get out of my DMs.
The huge plays coming up from Hen, Janus, Chapix.
Hey, look, you're annoying me. It's not in your best interest. Stop while you're ahead.
Changing up the strategy in game 6, beautiful.
Man, what a fantastic first showing.
And then he tries to flip it back, like
in Europe. But that wraps up the competition as far as day 1
like,
is concerned. I know.
You see what I'm talking about?
11, but don't worry, we'll be back tomorrow.
Like, dude,
same time,
just
same place,
it's not hard. Stay out of my
matches
DMs. Like,
EU,
I'm not with your weirdo shit. You know what I mean?
Trios champion. Could that be the back-to-back?
Like,
or could someone
just because my
could it be Savage?
just because my status is that doesn't make it a, you know,
don't forget, as you guys are
an invitation to DM me and like
East,
continue
very shortly.
to fucking like do this shit, you know.
6 matches in NA West, so make sure you're coming on through and keeping up with all the action.
I'm like, bro, like, just leave me the fuck alone.
As always, Fortnite fam, we love you. We'll see you tomorrow, and we'll see you.
Oh well, kids.
It's the dumbest shit. Like, it's petty, but like, I'm like, dude, just leave me the fuck alone. Like, if you like, especially because I'm streaming right now, you know.
Yep.
Danny, I see you in the chat for sure, bro. Yeah, guys, NA East is up next, so let's see what's up.
He's streaming it right now.
Yeah, I'm watching doing an FNCS watch party.
Oh shit.
Yeah, EU was fucking crazy, bro. I mean, yeah, EU was fucking actually really good. Thank you, Matt. I appreciate you.
Anything else?
No, I think we're chill. I think I sent you in the DMs our new OCE guy.
Let's see.
No, I didn't.
Oh, you did, yeah.
I did?
No, you did.
Okay.
Yeah.
Bro, you
Oh, OCA. No, you didn't.
Okay.
Send that one.
Here, I'm gonna show you then real quick. This dude's built different, man. I just recruited him yesterday, but I also got another one that we might be pulling in from NAE who qualified for FNCS Grands. And he's going to be playing today, and we're going to be watching him right now on East.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah, he's insane, bro. I mean, nuts. His name is Mopey. There's a block feature. Also, I don't see why he gets so mad at a DM. Matt, I'm gonna let you handle him before I fucking go spaz out on him. Cause I'll say something that'll hurt the kid's feelings.
Yep.
Like I don't got patience for kids like that, man.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
Fucking
so
kids, man.
guys, we're gonna be back on the stream once NA East is up. All right. So we'll be streaming again in another half hour when they go live. So I'll catch you guys then. All right.